What do you make of your Steelers, Paul?
So it's almost predictable that the Steelers are where they are. It doesn't matter, doesn't seem to matter what happens, doesn't seem to matter the adversity that they go through, they will end up somewhere around this spot. Like they're 5-2 with the Giants coming into town. And yeah, historically, like Mike Tomlin might drop a game, but it'd be really hard to drop a game like this against this Giants team who just gave up 8 sacks to the Eagles, and the Steelers can get after the quarterback. So that's not a good matchup for this Giants team. Daniel Jones got benched in the fourth quarter with, yeah, the game was out of hand, but your starting quarterback got benched with you still trying to come back into the game. And Dayball came out straight away and said, yeah, he's going to play. He's going to start. Okay, let him start. I don't see any upside in Daniel Jones being your starting quarterback. They've got to start over. And on the flip side, the Steelers changed their quarterback despite the backup quarterback have a winning record. And Russell Wilson came in and had a terrible first half, but then turned it around the second half and seemed to find a connection with George Pickens and played a solid game. But a lot of it's down to coaching and a lot of it's down to culture and effort. And the Giants just seems to be, I mean, that was, as far as losses go, that was, I struggle to remember like a worse loss for a team at home to your division rival, and your old running back comes into your house and just destroys you and can run for a career high, but just says, nah, I'm good. I just put my feet up. I'm good for the day. I've just handled this team. But he did it with class as well. He didn't come out and talk any trash on the Giants, so credit to him. The Giants do have neighbours who could put up some yards. I hope that Joey Porter Jr. guards neighbours because I want to see that matchup. Want to see a young emerging corner and how he would handle neighbours. The Giants defense, yeah, I've given a lot of credit to the Giants defense this year, but they got handled by the Eagles last week. Yeah, that's the Eagles, and they should have a better performance this week against the Steelers because it's not a high-flying offense at all, this Steelers offense, but it should be enough to handle the Giants because how many points do you give the Giants? Like, I don't see them getting to 20. So, yeah, I think the Steelers win. I think this is going to be a defensive struggle, though. But Steelers at home in prime time against the New York team, yeah, you can't look any other way than the Steelers win.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot has been made of the Giants. Like they spent a lot of money on their trenches, and their trenches aren't good,
Mm.
really. And
Well, the
this is the
left tackle got hurt. Left tackle's out for the year, and then they gave up 8 sacks the immediate next game.
this is not the team to come to when you have those issues. Um, yeah, TJ Watt, this he he hasn't been registering sacks, shall we say, like statistically.
Yeah.
He is going to cause all sorts of problems in this game again. So I don't see the Giants putting up. Uh, will they get to 14? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if they'll get there. And then on the other side, Russell Wilson. I mean, you've got to give Mike Tomlin his credit. Like, he had the courage of his conviction to stand alone and make this call. And I just want to make one point. The Steelers front office and ownership apparently did not agree with this decision. But guess what? They accepted it, they respected it, and it happened. This is how a top tier organization runs. They don't make decisions from ownership level. They don't make decisions from front office level, or in some cases, the quarterback. This is how it's done. You live and die by what the coach wants, and this time Tomlin got it right. Russell Wilson threw for, in the end, nearly 300 yards. And he had a very rocky start, as to be expected. He hasn't played since, November last year? December last year?
Yeah.
And I thought that he was in a groove in that second half. It was his Super Bowl. This week is Russell Wilson's Super Bowl. Every week is his Super Bowl from now on, because this is his last chance. And all credit to him. He could have got disheartened by that first half, and he turned it around. What I would say is, Paul, who do you think has on the offense has benefited most from Arthur Smith's arrival?
On a going day, it's Najee Harris for sure, because he runs. But Najee either runs for like 20 times for 40 yards, or he has 10 carries for 120, 130. Because when he gets going, he has some of those angry runs where he carries 2-3 defenders with him. So he either has a no yard, loads of no gain, 1-2 yard gain, or he breaks a big one because he just gets going. So you need to bring him down straight away, or he's gonna get going. He didn't get paid. They didn't extend him. They didn't. So yeah, he's playing for his career really this year. But yeah, it was great to see him last week against the Jets. They really, really stuck it to the Jets last week. It was great. And yeah. And we haven't even seen Warren yet, really. Warren hasn't really got going so far this year. We're heading into winter, and it's like heading into like run the ball time of year. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this offense goes with Wilson, and yeah, with both running backs healthy. But yeah, for sure, it's got to be Najee Harris.
100%, because I feel like lately, like he has been more dominating, like physically, and as you said, he'll break by 2 or 3 defenders, and like some of these runs, like I saw him play at Alabama. I watched a lot of their games, and it was like a year 11 against year 7s at times, and it's not to that degree, but like it just feels like he's kind of back to being that dominating physical figure. And as you said, Warren hasn't really got going yet. He had an injury, and when they both get going, the day that, like you said, Najee's kind of getting 1 yard a carry because they're bringing him down at the line. Well, that'll be the day that Warren scoots by on these like outside zones with his speed and his elusiveness. So that's a big deal. But I think a bigger deal is if Wilson can continue on this trajectory, because it's very different when you have to respect the pass. Like that's what really brought it all together, I think, in that second half. Wilson was productive in the passing game. They had to respect it. And so that opens up the running game. And sadly for Fields, Wilson is a better passer.
Yeah, that's never, ever been the question, is passer. Then with the Steelers now, with Wilson and this running game, what does Wilson historically do? He throws the ball deep, and he's a play-action passer. So that fits perfectly into what the Steelers want to do. The only thing is that you need Fields for some gadget plays if you want to run a kind of gadget play. But yeah, Wilson is without question the better passer of the football. And look out for play action.
And it just wasn't a good fit with Denver because Sean Payton wants to have 365 different plays. Russell Wilson, as you said, he's a play action passer. Keep it simple with him, and he'll execute what he's good at. And this scheme, I think, this could be interesting, very interesting. Back to the game, I can't back the Giants. If there's one problem bigger than Daniel Jones in New York, it's the GM. I'm sorry. This GM is not going to build you a championship winning roster. You need to fire him after this season, as brutal as that sounds. He made a terrible misevaluation of Saquon. Hard Knocks, really, how they aired that. That's embarrassing. You've literally got front office executives, scouts telling you Saquon's still explosive. Saquon is still really good. And he's just like, yeah, he's just another running back. We'll spend that money on Runyon from the Packers and Illuminor from the Raiders. Well, your offensive line still sucks. And I think it's going to take a pasting this week. So Steelers win. Definitely win. Not much more to add.